Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Welcome to I'll Hang Up and Listen, everybody. Brought to you by Outlet Liquor, the place to buy a case. As you can tell, I am not in my normal environment. I am in a friend's basement, whose house I am currently watching WrestleMania 39 at. Currently upstairs, you might even hear it in the background. I just wanted to get a quick post-game in here with you after a massive 6-3 win from the Buffalo Sabres over the Philadelphia Flyers, where we get goals number 33, 34, and 35 from Alex Tuch as he led the way with his second hat trick of the season to get a much-needed 2 points for the Sabres en route to a, potentially season-ending game this Tuesday for the Sabres against the Panthers, a 4-point swing where you need the 2 points against a team that you are chasing for one of the final playoff spots. So tonight, I said it to the start, I expected the Sabres to honestly kick the shit out of the Flyers tonight, riding that high, that energy, that wave of energy from last night's debut of Devin Levi, who played out of his mind. First star honors, they had 33, 34 saves on the night with a number of clutch saves there in the third period. I believe he made 21, 22 saves to secure the win for the Sabres. En route to a Jeff Skinner overtime goal. But tonight, it started off slow. Sabres kind of on their heels a little bit. Flyers applying pressure. I believe, Philadelphia opened the scoring from the goal from Frost. And then Buffalo came back and just never looked back. First goal scored, I believe it was Kyle Okposo in the waning seconds of the first period. And honestly, God, anyone who's played this sport knows how much momentum shifts when you get such a late goal like that. And Kyle came up big on a 2-on-1, a beautiful pass from Peyton Krebs over to Kyle, went top shelf on Sandstrom to tie the game with about, I think it was 8 or 9 seconds left in the first. And then in the first 2 minutes and 21 seconds, in 2 minutes and 21 seconds of the second period, Buffalo scored 3 goals, 2 from Tuch, and the other one is slipping me right now, but Jeff Skinner, sorry, they just put their foot on the gas, kept their foot on Philadelphia's throat, and just never looked back on this one. I think they understood the importance. One thing I do want to talk about too is just UPL stepping up. I think maybe I would have liked maybe even have one of those 3 saves in the game, but regardless, he came up with a lot of key saves tonight to secure the win for Buffalo, and he stepped up to the challenge. I've always said the best way to tell who a player is and what type of competitor is to make them face adversity, to back them into a corner. And UPL, after kind of knowing, the start of the season too, with the acquisition of Eric Comrie and free agency, we all saw that phone call from Kevin Adams to UPL after they made the acquisitions. Like, we still believe in you. We still believe you could be a starter, and yada yada yada. But just kind of that conversation. I'm sure he didn't take that news very well. And then obviously he's brought right into the fold not too far into the season because of an Eric Comrie injury early on in the year. It has peaks and valleys, ups and downs. But faced with adversity with Devin Levi, honestly, the most hype I've seen from a player probably since Darlene, maybe even more, to be honest with you, because because of the position, goalie, right? We haven't had a goaltender since Ryan Miller. We haven't had a franchise goaltender since Ryan Miller. So the hype was real around Levi to make his debut last night, and he did not let us down. He played had a world-class game, a world-class debut, and coming in tonight, again, two huge points on the line. Some goalies might have folded a little bit under that type of pressure because it's just not the pressure of the season. That we need these 2 points. It's the pressure of your job. You had a kid come in, first game in the NHL, comes in and absolutely shuts the door on one of the best teams in the National Hockey, one of the most, high-level elite teams in the NHL. Panarin, Pat Kane. I don't care how old Pat Kane is, still Pat Kane. Zibanejad, Adam Fox, Keandre Miller. List goes on and on. That team is stacked, top to bottom, and you could have been looking at a bad situation for Devin Levi, but he stepped up to the challenge. And now you're UPL. You're UPL here. What do I do? How do I handle this type of adversity? He handled it in stride tonight, and a couple clicks for him. Getting a huge 2 points. And now you're going to Tuesday night. Do you go right back to Devin Levi, who had a huge game? I think you do. Or do you go back to UPL, who had a big game tonight? Personally, I go Devin Levi. Judging from how well he played against the Rangers, you go against a team that's in front of you in the standings. We've seen Devin's career between Northeastern and high-pressure situations to last night in his NHL debut. He handles those situations in stride. I feel very confident in them starting Devin Levi on Tuesday in a potential season-ending game, because if you lose that, I would say your chances at playoffs are less than 1% easily. So we'll go to the peanut gallery here and check things out. We got Will McWeather. Let's go Buffalo Sabres on a warpath. Gargalant, woo, Tucky brings it 89 all day long. I say he's the future captain of this hockey team. Middlestat going to have 50 points. Who would have guessed that? I wouldn't say I would have guessed that, but I'm not surprised. Casey's always shown he can put the puck in the net. Casey's always shown that he's a good distributor of the puck. It's just coming into this season, my always big issues with Casey Middlestat was, not putting on the appropriate size, always kind of being the same size type of player, getting knocked off pucks, being soft on the puck, never winning battles. And this is kind of a situation for Casey where he was kind of forced to, it's a numbers game, right? You have a lot of players that are going to be ready to, want to make that NHL jump next season, and you want to be one of the odd men out. So maybe it's a case of, again, faced with adversity, knowing that your position on this team could be in danger. He has shown up this season. I'll give him credit where credit is due. He's had a great year, a very underrated year, a year that's probably not talked about enough. And I was one of his biggest critics. I'll admit it. I'm not going to say that I was wrong, because up until now, he's done nothing to prove that I would have been wrong. But right now, I would be more than happy to bring Casey Middlestat back on his team next season. Absolutely. Let's see here. We have more from Mauricio. Where were you last night, bud? Me and Hurls were wondering where you were after that big Levi win. You were not in the chat. Curls was calling you out, saying you're a fair. You pick your spots. You pick your spots. You wait till the team loses to come in here hot. But I told him he was wrong. But honestly, glad to have you here. Woo, Tuch rescued the Sabres. True leader, true captain, leads by example. Couldn't agree with you more, bud. 100%. What's wrong with Cousins? Hasn't to shoot the puck at overpassing. Again, he's still young. He's always not going to play a perfect game. He'll get there. 89 has 69. Actually, I think he has 71. I think he had 69 coming in tonight. Now he would have 72 points with that hat trick tonight. Nice. I like it. The opener gets me so hyped. Never change it. I won't. Trust me, I won't. Grab me a beer out of the fridge. That fridge actually might be empty. I'm not going to lie. Last time I was down here, that fridge was empty. Let's go Buffalo. Tic-tac-tuck with the Hattie. Enjoying WrestleMania. Let's keep the momentum up. Hope Tuck reaches 40 goals. I think he can. I think he can. Hopefully we have Tage Thompson back on Tuesday so he can continue to chase 50. Hi, Duane. Great win. Tuch with the Hattie. That was awesome. Massive win. Couldn't agree with you more, Robbie. Third period, Sabres skating in mud, slow, lethargic, tired. This is the Mauricio we all love. Tired, listless, fitness levels tested. My team needs better conditioning. Bruins play back-to-back games. Fitness conditioning is high. Luukkonen made big saves and let in some soft goals, upper glove area. Why didn't Comrie play? I don't know why Comrie didn't play. Maybe just felt had a feeling about Luukkonen, and the feeling worked, right? Luukkonen, UPL played very well. Flyers checked out. Torrell didn't coach. Tank job. I guess that's definitely everybody's tanking for Bedard this year. This team makes me happy and frustrated all at once. From sitting in to now playing like they're trying to sneak in. I know, you lose games like earlier the season to the Flyers, Columbus, Nashville. There's an endless list of games that you should have won against teams that were below you in the standings. That if you would have won even 2 of those games, you're in a playoff spot right now. Who is getting traded in the offseason, UPL or Comrie? I mean, Comrie is signed for 1 more year. I think the trade market would be better for UPL, but we'll see. We're not there yet. So who gets scratched Tuesday? Should Thompson return? That's a good question. Probably Olofsson. I would say Olofsson or I don't know. I don't want to say Jost, but I mean, if I were to guess, I would want to say Olofsson. But it's tough. It's tough to make that call with Granato because he can go in a number of different directions. Did Rusek play tonight? I didn't hear his name set off, and I don't even know if Rusek played tonight. Greenway scored in there too. Yeah, he has found his scoring touch this past week, so he's finally starting to find the back of the net, find his groove. I like that goal last night where he lowered the shoulder and drove the net, used his size to his advantage to lift that puck over Halak, who again was very surprised by the play from. I believe it would have been deflected too. Like how he addressed Dello a few times in scrums. Yeah, I mean, Greenway's a big guy. He should be willing to get physical in those situations, 100%. Third period turnover after turnover defense force no one taking the body and defensive. Can't you be happy, Mauricio? Can't you just be happy? We won 2 in a row. Oh, yeah. I love it. Big problem. Sabres announcers mentioned Flyers forwards. Deacon Oliver's take the body. I don't disagree with you, but let's be happy. We won. I know there's things that need to be addressed, but we won. It's 2 more points towards the playoffs. Trade UPL and prospect for defenseman and second centerman. Cousins is third line centerman. Cousins looked lost. Again, he's still very young. I still think he's your second line center next season. Devin Jedi goes versus Florida. Yes, the Jedi should play versus Florida. Joker got absolutely bodied tonight. Speaking of not having enough size. Yeah, I mean, that's a guy I could do without next season for sure. Aaron Griffin, friend of the program. UPL and Levi will push each other for the next level with friendly competition. Yeah, again, I always say that the best way to tell, to figure out what type of a competitor you have is make them face adversity, make them face competition, have them backed into a corner and see how they respond. UPL responded very well tonight. Again, I gave him a couple of clicks earlier. Middlestead is playing better with better teammates. I 100% agree. 100% agree. Vanco's burner account. I think that the Sabres should take this year as a learning experience. They've made admirable progress since Eichel left, and next year they'll have a full year of better goaltending. I completely agree. I think that when, whether you make the playoffs or not this season, I don't think any of us expected to be in this position by year's end to have meaningful games in April. Another huge, again, biggest game of the season come Tuesday with huge playoff implications on the line. 2 games in hand on Florida. You can come within 1 point of them with the win on Tuesday. So, yeah, I definitely think, whether you win or lose that game, it's a huge learning experience because that's a playoff game, right? Tuesday is a playoff game. No doubt about it. Tuesday is absolutely a playoff game. As close to a playoff atmosphere that, you're going to get. I'm not sure if that's a home or away game. I believe it might be away. But for that team in that locker room, this is a playoff game. 100%. 100%. If it's in Florida, I'd like to see Sabres fans down there. Flock down there. Let's support this team. I don't know if it's a home or away. Not to mention they should be a little bit more consistent. Absolutely, they will be. I think I tend to agree. I think you'll make a few additions in the offseason. I think you'll add through your own system, and you'll be better. You'll be better, especially hopefully on the blue line and in net. We still need muscle, a Tom Wilson type player. Would you bring Zach Kassian back? I don't hate Zach Kassian. I think Zach Kassian is a very valued player in this league. A bottom six guy who adds a lot of tough and gritness and has the ability to score goals. There was a reason why he had some success at Edmonton with Connor McDavid. He has that ability. He's a former first round pick of the Sabres. So I don't know. Yep. I would not be against that 100% in your bottom six. Definitely add the type of grit and toughness that you would need. I think that it should be also mentioned that the Sabres also have had one of the hardest schedules at the end of the year. Yes, up until their schedule, the last 5, 6, 7, 8 games was very tough. A lot of those games they lost, they were against good teams. But you still also lost games against teams like Columbus, the Flyers, Nashville. Those are games you have to win. You can't lose those games. And they did. So they kind of dug themselves in this hole that they're in right now by losing very winnable games, not playing 60 minutes, not showing up in the first period. They put themselves in this hole. They got to dig themselves out, and they could, they can make a huge move to the top of that hole to get themselves out by winning on Tuesday against the Florida Panthers. I think there is value to driving into the playoffs hot. We could get lucky here. I agree. I 100% agree. Geez, Duane, I have a social life, ladies. I gotta take a picture of this, guys. I gotta take a picture of this because this is fantastic. This is fantastic. So I'm gonna take a picture of this. And when Mauricio was called out for not being in the chat last night, this was his response, and I absolutely love it. That's fantastic, bud. The guys are gonna love that. Their guys are gonna love that. Yeah. Hey, we all had social lives too. I should be watching WrestleMania now, but I made this a priority to be here with you guys, to talk to you guys, to celebrate with you guys, and that's why I'm here. The ladies can wait. My girlfriend can wait. So, Levi and UPL need to go back and forth for the finish. I agree. 100%. I agree. UPL and Devin can be at Omar Swayman tandem next year. We hope so, right? We hope so. I'm not going to put that much of an expectation on them both, but that's a possibility. It's spring break too. Hopefully the boys stays focused. The game on Tuesday is in Florida. Thank you, Robbie. I appreciate that. Let's get some Sabres fans down there. You got Florida to go visit? Go visit them. Mauricio, need your own podcast, man. I love it. And Duane, was I chopped liver last night? No, you were not chopped liver last night. We had like over 100 comments in the thing. So if I missed you last night, buddy, I apologize. Levi and UPL, that should be the goaltending duo next year. I 100% agree. Even though Comrie is signed to I shouldn't say 100% agree. Comrie is signed for the year. I could definitely see them trading UPL and keeping Comrie around. I could see that. It wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me if they, waived Comrie and it's UPL. We'll see. Obviously UPL would be the cheaper of the two. Florida is in Florida. Yep. And WWE. Yes. I am watching WrestleMania upstairs. As much as I love Craig Anderson, Chicago guy, I don't believe he should be the starting guy on a young, better Sabres team. The saves us the playoffs. I don't think it should be looked at badly. No, definitely not. He's 41 years old. And he's got great numbers for a 41-year-old goaltender in the NHL who started more than 20 games. He's got great numbers. So, save percentage around like 910, 915, I believe. I think goals against average are still in like the high twos, but without having the numbers in front of me to look at. But yeah, I am very impressed with Craig Anderson's performance this season and how he stepped up and been a mentor on and off the ice. So, and I think, I think Devin Levi actually mentioned that's a reason why he wanted to sign with Buffalo this season, was to make sure that he got some time with Craig, some face time with Craig. So, and that's a great guy to learn from. I'm going to bring up the box score here real quick, just so we can go over all the ins and outs of how tonight went. Again, Alex Tuch getting his second hat trick of the season. Goals 35. are 33, 34, and 35 on the season, en route to 40 goals. We will see. I'm a believer in Alex Tuch. I've adamantly said that I think he's the next captain of this hockey team. In a big moment this season, he stepped up and scored a hat trick when the Sabres needed him to step up in the absence of Tage Thompson. Dahlin's also been talked about too. I didn't hate his game tonight, but he took could have been two costly penalties. The holding call and the delay of game call. You got to be smarter than that, bud. But I love Dahlin having a career year, a breakout year. He's also a candidate too, for sure. Okay, goals scored today. Alex Tuch with 3 for 71 points and 35 goals in the season. Jeff Skinner with a goal and assist. Dahlin with an assist. Jordan Greenway with 1 goal. Kyle Okposo with a goal. Krebs and Jost with an assist each. And then OP, Owen Power, Jack Quinn, Samuelson each with an assist. And then Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and UPL with 39 saves on 42 shots again. The Flyers, Morgan Frost with the first 2 goals of the game, and the only other goal coming from Travis Konechny, player I like a lot. And then Felix Sandstrom had 23 saves on 29 shots against. Going into Florida on Tuesday, obviously they have a very high-powered hockey team. I think Matthew Tkachuk just hit 100 points on the season. And they just have Sam Reinhart, Sam Bennett, Verhaeghe, Duclair, Ekblad. That team is just so stacked. And, even though they're not meeting their expectations this season, that's going to be a very tough hockey game. I would love for us to get Spencer Knight against Devin Levi, a rematch of the World Juniors from over a year ago. I think Devin will really rise to that challenge. I know they lost it in the gold medal game against Team USA, but I think that that's a redemption game. A, for the team that traded him away, and B, Levi versus Spencer Knight. Who's going to win that matchup? My money's on Devin Levi. Not just because of my Sabres bias. I just think that he's a phenomenal goaltender, and he is a guy who I think is going to play on a chip on his shoulder on Tuesday night. So I think to me, I don't know if you can justify not giving that kid the start after the way he played last night. Aaron Griffin, please don't let UPL go. I followed him since he was 16, and Dree would draft him. Then we did. Actually, believe it or not, Aaron, I met his trainer from junior hockey last night at the Sabres game. What team? What was the team he played for in junior? And it escapes me. But I met his trainer. We talked a lot about his injury history, his mental side of the game, and he loves coming to Buffalo whenever he gets a chance to watch Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen play. We had a long talk about him, so that was pretty cool. But I wouldn't hate it if they did hold on to him. I just don't know what Kevin Adams is thinking, what Don Granato's thinking in terms of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and his future with the Buffalo Sabres. Because I think it's pretty clear who they believe is the franchise goaltender of this team, and it's Devin Levi. Thanks for coming to Sully, Duane. Go have fun with WWE. I will very shortly here, guys. Connor better be watching WrestleMania with his Undertaker tweet tonight. I know. He should be, right? I actually mentioned in the chat that he's slowly becoming a mark, and he had no clue what I was talking about, which is pretty funny. If we just get on a streak, we can make it. I know that it's a long shot, but Ottawa seems to be sliding as well as Detroit. Yes, we lost to some bad teams, but we won against some great teams as well. Yeah, they seem to play up to the competition, but sometimes they play down to the competition as well. Tonight was the latter. They beat a team that they should have beaten, and they beat the shit out of them. That's for sure. We won, yes, agree, reality bites. Team needs to clean up defensive zone coverage, take the damn body, hit someone, punish anyone and everywhere. We need the Hanson brothers. I love the passion. Rhea Ripley wins. Thank you, Gummy Queen 06. I can hear it from upstairs. I'll be sure to watch the replay later because I was interested in watching that match, but I cannot not celebrate a Sabres win with you guys. I can't not. So We need new assistant coaches. Ellis is a bum. Who are the other 3 dunces? I know Dan Girardi's on the staff still. I like Dan Girardi a lot. Iron Man in the NHL, undrafted guy played a lot with the Rangers. But yeah, Matt Ellis can go. I don't know who the other guys are, but I do agree that Don should have more veteran coaches on his staff. That's one of the ways changes I'd like to see next year for sure. With that being said, guys, I'll hang up and listen. Thanks for hanging out with me here for a little bit. I'm going to go up and enjoy the rest of WrestleMania. Sabres 6-3 win. Alex Tuch, second hat trick of the season. Hopefully we have Tage Thompson back for Tuesday. I do know in the post game last night that Don Granaud did mention there was a slight chance he could play tonight. Better chance if it wasn't back-to-back. So I would expect to see Tage Thompson with a few more days rest in the lineup against Florida in what is essentially a playoff game Tuesday against the Florida Panthers. I don't think it matters what goalie we get. Spencer Knight, Bobrovsky, they're both phenomenal goaltenders. So it's going to be a challenge for sure. And Buffalo, again, I think they played a very good physical game tonight, even though, Florida had them on their heels a lot. I think they matched the challenge. Even though you saw a couple big hits, especially the one on Yoki Haru in the corner, I think they matched them pretty well physically. They came up big in big moments, both offensively and defensively, and in net. So I'm very happy with the game they played tonight, especially that second period. Guys, I will hang up and listen. You guys have a good night. Remember, this is brought to you by Outlet Liquor, the place to buy a case on George Urban Boulevard. Don't haste all your Sabres game night needs. Get over to Outlet Liquor. Tell them Duane sent you from Two Goalies, One Mic. Have a good night. Go Sabres. Happy WrestleMania weekend. And I'll talk to you later. Once I end this broadcast, I'll talk to you later.